All right, I think we are live, everybody. Thank you for joining me today on my 500 sub live stream. Drew said he couldn't join us, but thanks, Drew. Appreciate that. And Angie over at Bookaholic Brown Nim, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Glad to have you here. My apologies. I ran into some technical difficulties, so we are going to get started with this, but I'm going to be doing some other stuff in the background as well. So sorry for the delay here. How's everybody doing today? Hey there, Kay. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I was setting up, sharing my screen for the giveaway, and apparently I had to alter the permissions, and it required me to close my browser to finish making the changes, and so I lost everything that I was all set up with. But, you know, it wouldn't be life without something going wrong, right? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen on these special occasions, right? So anyway, we are here. Hey! Thank you, Mona Lisa. Appreciate that. Hey, Scott, won't be able to stay long, but congrats, my friend. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So there's a couple of things that I do want to talk about before we commence with the questions and answers. I am going to do the spin the giveaway wheel live on this live stream, so we'll do that after a few other announcements. Yeah, thank you, Kay. Yeah, it's inevitable, right? But we're making do. So we will get to that. One thing I do want to clarify, in case anybody was wondering, you don't have to be attending the live stream to be eligible for the giveaway. That's in case that was something anybody was concerned about. That's not. I will notify the winner either way. Thank you, Fina. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's very, very exciting. I'm just recompiling my list for the giveaway wheel here. So one thing I do want to talk about, and Drew from Drew's Book Reviews will let me know if I don't do it. He's like, Chad, you need to start doing this. And that is to talk about my Patreon. I have had a Patreon for a while. I have not promoted it just because, you know, I don't know why. You know, I think it's nervousness about necessarily coming across asking for money, which I'm definitely not. It is a way that you can support me if you want to, but it's by no means required. I never expect it from anybody. So just wanted to let you know that was out there in case you want to support it. The link is in the description of this video and will be in my future videos as well. You can always find it. Let's see. Let's get a few of these here. Chaz. Hey, Andrew. Can't stay super long, but wanted to say congrats. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Alex. Check out Alex's channel, Tall Guy Reads. You guys have to take a gander at his videos. Really good. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you, Josh. Yes, yeah, Drew's one of my patrons, and he tells me I need to promote it more, and I do. So that is available. One other thing I do want to talk about briefly is changes to my social media. So you may have seen a few weeks ago, I posted something regarding how people find my videos, whether it's on social media, what social media it is, or if it's just because you run across me on Facebook. things like that. So that is, I got a lot of good feedback on that, and surprisingly, most of you, it's from being a subscriber or seeing me pop up on YouTube in the recommendations. Very little on social media. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Drew. So with social media, I am making some changes, primarily with Twitter. You may have noticed I recently activated an Instagram, so I'm kind of doing the Bookstagram thing. That is primarily going to be my primary social media. Other than Discord, I'm not getting rid of the Discord. You can join my Discord if you want to. You'll see me pop up in other Discords as well. But between Instagram and Discord, those are going to be my primary methods of interacting on social media. I will be getting rid of Twitter, and if you're wondering, it's not because of Elon Musk. I don't really care that he bought Twitter either way, but I've kind of been looking to pare down my social media use and get rid of social media sites that don't really benefit me and take up probably too much of my time. So I am going to be leaving Twitter up until June 1st, and then it's going to be going away. You can always find me on Discord. You can always find me on Instagram. I do post to my Facebook business page as well, but it gets posted to through Instagram now. So not a lot of upkeep there per se. But yeah, just wanted to let everybody know that. And so happy you enjoyed the ending of the Dark Tower for the most part. Yeah, I did. It was a lot of fun. Hey, Jonathan, what's up, bud? Hiya. Thanks for joining me. Congrats. Thank you. And Instagram is my preference, that and Discord. Yeah, that's the way it's going to be for me. Yeah, author interaction is big on Twitter. I've noticed a lot of authors interact on Instagram as well. And so I'm kind of trying to pick and choose what I focus my energy on. But yeah, Twitter is good for author interaction. I may leave it up, but just, barely use it. We'll see. I'm not posting Facebook in years. Yeah, kind of that too. I do more on Facebook personally than I do professionally. So yeah, so that's definitely a thing. It's kind of getting old, isn't it? Yeah, so that's one of the announcements I wanted to make about social media. Get my list out here. Monthly wrap-ups and TBR changes. You may have noticed I normally do a combined video for my monthly wrap-ups and new TBR for the month. I'm still going to be doing that, but the title for those videos seems a little bit long, so I'm going to change it to monthly reading update or something to that effect. So it's still going to be there, but I'm going to just make it a monthly reading update. I'll still hashtag it with a TBR. That'll still be a thing, but yeah, so that's that there. And then I also want to talk about when and if I hit 100 subs. I'm going to focus on 1,000 subs. Excuse me. Wow, I already hit 100 subs. 1,000 subs is my next goal, of course. So once I hit 1,000 subs, I'm doing something special. A lot of people have been disappointed that I got rid of the beard. I mean, I still have kind of a beard, but not the long monstrosity that you saw me with before. So there were I got a lot of disappointed people with that one. So here's what I'm going to do. For 1,000 subs, I am going to grow my beard out for a year. I can prune it, I can trim it, but I will grow it out. I won't cut it. And I'll Viking braid it. So a little bit of incentive there, right? Maybe some people will see this and they'll be like, oh, well, let's get him to 1,000 subs. We got to see that beard come back. So just something funny I thought might be fun to do. So Hi, congrats on 500. Did you start with a subscriber goal? Do you have one now? Yeah, funny we were talking about subscribers. I was hoping to hit 500 or 1,000. I'm honestly satisfied with anything. I just do this as a fun hobby to talk about books with a bunch of people, that because I don't have a lot of close friends that I can talk about books with. And I mean, I talk with my kids and they like books too, but you know, I like to expand my reading discussion beyond family. So I don't really have a lot of people that I can talk to about books. So that was my ultimate goal with this. And I just do it as a fun side hobby. But if I hit subscribers, I don't complain about that at all. That's always nice too. I thought I'd give a social media a shot, so I signed up for Instagram, but I screwed something up and immediately got locked out. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. That's weird. That's too bad that happened. Yeah, that's frustrating. Some of those sites get a little quirky from time to time. So, yeah. So you know, let me know if you want more information on any of these few announcements that I talked about. And other than that, we will get to the spin wheel here shortly. Just give me a few more moments. I'm finalizing up the names. And if you have any questions live on the stream right now, other questions that you want to ask me, feel free. I did collect questions and answers, assumptions from everybody, but you're welcome to make them here too. It's not limited to just the people that asked the questions before. So that's the best part about Booktube, talking with others about books. And yeah, it's awesome community. Hey Cole, what's up? Nice having you. All right, so we are going to start. I'm going to share my screen here. I have the giveaway wheel. And we're going to, let's see, scroll, kind of maximize this a little bit there. Can everybody see the wheel? Do I need to do anything else there? Oh, there we go. I think that'll be a little bit better. You are into Dragonlance, right? These youngsters don't give it much. Yes, I am into Dragonlance. I take that back. I have not read the Dragonlance novels, but I am interested in reading them. So, and if anyone is wondering where my dessert is, because I often do dessert on celebration streams, I've got my little half pint. Let's see, there it is. A Ben & Jerry's cookies and cream ice cream. So I will be indulging in that as we enjoy the live stream. All right. So let us spin the wheel and see who wins. Oh, there we go. Oh, Drew's book reviews. All right, Drew. So I will be reaching out to you. Congrats, man. And you get to pick a book, a maximum of $30 purchase. So, you know, you can we can connect, get me your Amazon wish list or whatever other wish list you have, and we'll make it happen, bro. I'm so excited for you. That's awesome. All right. So we are done sharing there. Right, I know. I'll do other giveaways in the future, though. Congrats, man. Glad to have you on the. Glad to have you aboard. It's been nice knowing you. You definitely need to check out Drew's channel, and we'll see what book he ends up with. And there will be future giveaways, as I said. So I am going to get my list up here of questions and assumptions that you guys had for me, and we'll see what happens there. You're welcome, man. Yay, congrats. Yes, indeed. All right. So here we go. And as I said, feel free to ask questions on the stream as well. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to pull this list up on my phone here. First question is from Lars. What book has had the largest impact on your life and why? Oh boy, that's a tough one. I would have to say there's a couple of them. One is Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite thinkers and philosophers, spiritual teachers. Just was a really fantastic guy. He passed away a few years ago, unfortunately, but his book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, is a commentary of his year-long retreat that he did, where he studied and meditated on the Tao Te Ching. And some of you may have heard me talk about the Tao Te Ching, how I'm interested in Taoist philosophy. And so he breaks down each section of the Tao Te Ching with a separate page detailing his personal thoughts on it. So really, really great book. That one was highly influential in my life. Also, I'm very much changed by reading, oh gosh, and now I can't think of the name of it. Come on, Chaz. The Untethered Soul. That's another one. Michael Singer wrote a book called The Untethered Soul, and that book, especially one particular chapter in the book, really helped me personally, and really drove a lot of things home for me that I'd experienced in my life that just was awesome for me. So time for a little bit more ice cream here. Okay, this next question is from Drew. Not Drew's book reviews, another Drew. And this question is, if you were a fantasy animal, what animal would you be and in what world? Oh, well, I would be a dragon. So there's no doubt about that. I would be a dragon. And I could say a Song of Ice and Fire in the world of Westeros. But I don't know, that world is so bleak and miserable at times. I think I would almost rather be a dragon in Allegasia, in Christopher Paolini's world with Aragon, Saphira, things like that. So I think that would be a little bit more, a little bit safer world. I'm not a huge risk taker, so I take risks, but I'm kind of level-headed about it. So I don't think I would survive in Westeros. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody think I would survive in Westeros? All right. So the next question is, what are your favorite foods and beverages? And that's also from that same person, Drew. My favorite foods and beverages. I really like Chinese food, any Oriental food. Actually, I'm down for Japanese food, Chinese, Thai. I really like sushi, so go in Japanese there. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm assuming you mean I would absolutely not survive in Westeros. Yeah. A dragon, you don't say. I would have assumed a unicorn. Well, okay. Interesting. A unicorn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I am kind of a unconventional guy, so I might be a unicorn. Who knows? I don't know. Love the content. Congrats on 500. Hey, thank you, Josh. I appreciate you. So yeah, so any type of Oriental food. I like all different types of food as well, though. I like Mexican food, but I have to be in a mood for it. Things like that. So, hey, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in, Theo. Check out Rekindled Reader. He's got a great channel. I just found him, actually. So, yeah, cool guy. So as far as beverages go, I like a lot of different things. I like a lot of different types of juices, orange juice, apple juice. I also like beer and wine, so adult beverages. Liquor like whiskey and stuff, I have to be in a mood for, but I do like it. So yeah, beer and wine are probably my go-tos. And I prefer the stronger beers and wines. I like red wines, but I also like whites and sparkling wines as well. I also really like dark beers or amber beers. I'm really big in it. So like, give me a Guinness or a Four Peaks Kilt Lifter, things like that. I'm really down for that. So that's my beverages of choice. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll be looking forward to that. Let me know. Okay, we have a question here from Jolene. And she says, what is your favorite part of Booktube? And for me, it's the community, hands down. The Booktube community is amazing. I've made a lot of really great friends here on Booktube, and I love interacting with people in the comments. Booktubers and non-booktubers alike, the people who interact on the book videos, even if they don't have a channel, are just really amazing. And I've heard some people who get really big have a lot of problems with negativity sometimes in the comments and stuff. And I've been really blessed. I haven't encountered anyone that I've had to block or anything like that, except spam comments every now and again on live streams. Those things happen, but you got to expect that. But I've never had a bad interaction with anybody. It's been really pleasant, especially when I did my video about DNFing the Wheel of Time. I was shocked that I didn't get any negativity on that in the comments there. So people are really inviting and everything like that. Hey, just popped in to say hi and drop a like. I'll come back and watch later. Cool, thanks. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out An Erudite Adventure too, guys. T is really awesome, and I think it's his sister he does the channel with. So it's really cool. It's like a family thing. It's awesome. So yeah. So that's my favorite part of Booktube. I love the community. It's just been absolutely amazing. If you would, so this is from Ursi over at Circe's Booked. If you would venture out and read a romance book, which would it be and why? Oh man. I don't read romance, guys. I mean, I've read fantasy books that have romance in it, of course. I am interested to read Kushiel's Dart. I don't know if that counts as a romance. I mean, maybe it does, but it's more political and things than it does have romantic elements in it. So, so I know she's like a court prostitute for a goddess, I think. So, those adult elements come up in the book, I'm sure, but it's more of a fantasy and political intrigue than anything else. So I don't know if that counts as a romance, but I really have no desire to read romance. Sorry. not my thing. But I appreciate that there are people who love romance novels out there, and that's awesome. I don't look down on it at all. I DNF Kushiel's Dart. Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. yeah, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it and what it was that caused you to DNF. And did you do a book review on it? Maybe I can watch it. Okay. Do you have a book that you cherish? And this is from Kay, from Kay's Hidden Shelf. And oh, thanks, Billy. Appreciate it. So I do have a book that I cherish, a couple of them actually. So you would think that I would say most emphatically that Ocean at the End of the Lane is a book that I cherish, and I do, being that it's my favorite book of all time by Neil Gaiman. But there is a book that I cherish more, and that is because from the time my kids were really little, they loved Goodnight Moon. It's a little kid's picture book for bedtime. And we read that over and over, and I cherish those memories, and so that's the book that I cherish, because my kids are just the most important part of my life, and so that is the book that I cherish. So, but I do like Ocean at the End of the Lane. That would be the second book that I cherish, I guess. So yeah, hope that answered your question there. Let's take a break from the questions and do some assumptions. And if you're new to the stream, I am taking questions live on stream as well. You don't have to have given those to me ahead of time. So, yeah. All right. So, assumptions. Drew, again, not Drew's book reviews, another Drew. I don't know. I don't think he has a channel, this particular Drew. He says, you are a world ranking chess master. Oh, I wish that was the case. I love chess. It's one of my favorite classic games. I play it fairly often, but I don't, I'm not good enough at chess to be a world ranking chess master like Kasparov or Bobby Fischer or any of those. Yeah, I'm not that good. But I do love chess, and I love watching shows and movies about chess too. Like, I still need to watch The Queen's Gambit. I've been wanting to watch that. And one of my favorite movies from back in the day is Searching for Bobby Fischer. A really, really excellent movie. So yeah, that's my answer for that. I'm not a world ranking chess master. Crucial Start was before making videos, but I didn't care for the main character and her obsession with the. Okay, fair enough. I can understand that. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah. Goodnight Moon's always a classic. So do any of you on the stream play chess? If you do, let me know. I mean, I've played chess online before too, so that could be a thing. So let's do another assumption. This is from Drew again. You prefer to live somewhere that has a snowy or cold winter season? No, I don't. I definitely prefer warmer weather overall. As many of you know, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. It gets hot as blazes here in the summer. Sometimes it'll hit 115 or 120. It is a dry heat. You'll hear that a lot, but anything over 110 is pretty unbearable anyway. But it's only 4 months out of the year. The rest of the year is gorgeous. I think the coldest it's ever gotten here is 35 degrees, right around there. So I love the winters here. I do prefer someplace cold for the summer, cooler for the summer months. And I don't mind the cold either. I like visiting the cold. I just don't like shoveling snow and stuff like that. But, you know, one of the downsides of living in a really hot climate is, you know, if you live in a cold climate, it's easy to just put on extra layers if it gets too cold. But when it gets too hot, I mean, there's only so much that you can take off, right? There's only so much you can do there. So, yeah, dry heat does not make it better. Haven't played chess in a while, but I used to play. Okay, cool. Okay, that's awesome. And let's see, I've dabbled a bit with chess over the years. Cool. Yeah. Well, it's an awesome game. Yeah, I play with my son every once in a while, and he's really good. He's beaten me the last several times we played, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, here's an assumption from Jolene. You love playing board games. I do love playing board games. Other than reading and watching movies, that is one of my favorite hobbies, is to play board games. And I play all different kinds of board games, classic board games, role-playing board games. Some of my favorites are Splendor. It's kind of a deck building game of sorts, if you haven't played it. I absolutely love a game called Unspeakable Words. So yeah, there's a lot of great ones on there. Lords of Waterdeep is another one that I like. And then classics like Scrabble, Yahtzee, Monopoly. Yeah, I love board games. So, and you can't get naked enough when it's 110. That's very true. Yep, that is very true. And nobody would want that from me anyway. So yeah, it's that's one of those things. So let's see. Curly Top Reads. Hey, we got Mel from Curly Top Reads here, just popping in to say congratulations. I have to hop on a live stream for book club. Awesome. I'm so glad you came by to say hi. And yeah, I'll see you later. Absolutely. And hooray for tabletop game hobbyists. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I love it. I wish I had more opportunities to play. I recently, well, not too recently, but about a year or so ago, I connected with a booktuber that's local here in Phoenix. That she and her husband love to play board games as well. So we've been talking about getting together for a board game night. And yeah, very exciting to find more people to play board games with. And I do have a few other friends that play. It's hard to get together for a game. Have you checked out Board Game Arena? I have. I've looked into several of the board game websites. I just haven't gotten too much into it because not a lot of people I know want to play online either. So, but I find that they often have like glitches and quirks as well. So that tends to hamper the pleasurable gaming experience. But yeah, that is something I've looked at. And I just thought about I may occasionally mute myself while I take a bite of ice cream. You guys probably don't want to hear me chewing, so hold on 1 second. Okay, I am back. All righty, let's see here. We'll do one more assumption, and then we'll go back to some questions. Joanna asks me, or assumes that I sing a lot around the house. Yes and no. I do enjoy singing. I do sing around the house. I make up weird little songs, repetitive songs that I will sing around the house from time to time while I'm cleaning or cooking or doing other things, much to my kids' chagrin. I get a lot of, dads are famous for getting eye rolls from their kids. So yeah, that's, it's a thing, so yes, I do sing around the house. All righty. So let's go back to some questions here. Let's see. If you, so David asks, if you had to sell all of your books, but could only keep one, which one would you choose? You had to ask this question, David. Well, I would definitely choose to keep Ocean at the End of the Lane. And I actually have two copies of it. One is the illustrated edition, and one is just the standard reading edition that you can buy easily at the store. I would probably get rid of the illustrated edition only because it is, I mentioned this before, it is actually abridged. Not severely abridged, but there are a lot of words that are left out, a lot of sentences that are left out, and some of the words and phrases are changed from the original. So I would unfortunately not keep the illustrated edition if I had to get rid of it. But I certainly hope that never happens, because I have so many nice books. I'm not attached to my physical books per se. I do unhauls every now and again. There are only a few books that I know for sure that I would keep on my shelf if I had to get rid of some. I'm kind of a minimalist in that way. I don't mind just having most of my library on ebooks. So, but I do enjoy a lot of my physical books as well. So I hope that never happens. But if I did have to get rid of all of them, I would pick Ocean at the End of the Lane, hands down. Unless something one day unseats that as my favorite book of all time, which I don't know that would really happen. So, yeah. All right. How's everybody doing? Is anybody bored yet? Is this getting too long? Hopefully not. We're getting through the questions though. So T from Erudite Adventure asks me, do you have any more writing projects in the works, and can you tell us anything about them? So this is a great question, T, and I do have other projects in the works. It's been a while, It's been a while since I wrote actively. It really has. I've been wanting to get back to reading, but I haven't done it in quite a while. And so I am finally starting to get the spark of creativity in me again. Many of you may know that I did write a book called Talendor's Guest. It is published on Amazon. It's also in the description below if you're interested in reading it. No pressure, of course, though. But I introduced several worlds in that book that I hope to come back to. I do have a second book finished. It's in the early alpha stage, you might say. I need to get some beta readers on it, called the Nomads Crucible. And so I'm very excited to get that finished. I've already been talking to somebody about a cover for it. And so I'm hoping maybe if I can get it all beta read and edited and stuff. I do self-publish my books. So who knows, maybe by the holidays, I will have it out and ready to purchase. And maybe putting this out there on this stream will get my button gear to do it. So yeah, I am excited about that. I am also working on a new book, just barely in the thought process stage, to do with tattoos and tattoos that come to life by various forms of magic. So I'm pretty excited about that idea. And if any of you have read Talendor's Guest, you know that there's a character that pops up in that book called the Ink Master, and he will be making another appearance in this new book. So that is something I'm actively brainstorming on. We'll put it that way. I haven't written anything down yet, but I am brainstorming the ideas for it. So that is probably as much as I can say right now. But there's a lot more to come. I have a lot of different stories that are in different phases of development that I haven't come back to, that I may eventually come back to here in the near future. And my first book that I ever started writing is in that category. It's been years since I've revisited it, other than a short story that does appear in Talendor's Guest as well for that world. So that's all I've done with it other than that. So, oh, this is fast melting. Anybody for ice cream soup? Anyone? Okay. Ebooks are great for building an indie library. Yes, they are. Yeah, it's the easiest way to get a hold of an indie book and read it quickly, especially if you want to do a review for a new release. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thanks, Kay. Appreciate it. I thought if I would. Yeah, it's a cool idea, right, Josh? Yeah, absolutely. I think tattoos are fascinating. Tattoo stories are fascinating. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Were you influenced by The Illustrated Man by Ray Bradbury? Really cool short story collection where a man's tattoos come to life to tell each story. You know, I was not aware. I've heard of The Illustrated Man, but I've never read it, and I didn't know what it was about. So that's interesting, Sean. Thanks for cluing me in. Maybe I'll read that. And I do like Ray Bradbury. So I've only read one book of his, actually, but I liked what I read. So yeah, I'll have to check it out. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to grab another bite of ice cream soup here real quick. All righty. Still with me, guys? Here we go. Let's see. Derry asks, Derry's read it before, is her channel. You should definitely check her out. What's your favorite bedtime book to read to your daughter? And there again, I mentioned it before. Goodnight Moon was an absolute favorite to read at bedtime for both of my kids growing up. So I don't really read books to them at bedtime anymore because they're 17 and 18 now. So, but yeah. Although we've talked in the past about like doing a read together time for different books and stuff like that. Just all reading it, sitting down, reading a book together. So that's definitely something we want to maybe look at in the future. But yeah, time flies by. So that's my answer to that question. Though it's a great bedtime book. Okay, so Josh Yaks asks, Goodreads says that you've written a book called Breaking the Mold, Confessions of a Hippie Ex-Pastor. Yes, I have. What do you think is the most important thing for people to know about faith and spirituality? This is definitely an interesting and difficult question, only because I have changed so much even since I wrote that book. In fact, I took that book off the market only because it's not really indicative of my views anymore. I did go to Bible college and seminary. I was a pastor for 3 years, and I left the faith 10 years ago altogether, and I haven't looked back. I started reading broadly and deeply in other philosophies like Buddhism, Zen, Taoism, things like that. And those have been just a huge impact on my life, but I'm not religious in any sort of way. So spirituality, I think if I were to say anything is the most important to know about faith and spirituality, is that it's very personal for every individual person. And never to look down on somebody because of their beliefs or lack thereof. I accept everybody regardless of their beliefs or choosing not to believe. I think the most important spiritual path is to always work to becoming a better human being. And if your religious beliefs or lack thereof help you to be a better human being and treat others with compassion and kindness, that is the most important feature of the spiritual beliefs. So yeah, I do consider myself spiritual, but I'm not religious or hold any kind of belief anymore in any way. So yeah. So I hope that answered your question, Josh. That was really great, and I appreciate you asking it. And if you have a follow-up question, absolutely feel free as well. So what book would you recommend for someone that would like to learn more about the world religions? Oh, wow. That's a tough one. There's a lot of great books out there. I haven't read any one book that I would say is like a collection of all the world's different religions. I'm sure there are some out there, but I've read some really good individual books on different religions. I have read a lot of books on Taoism and Buddhism. Buddhism Without Belief by Stephen Batchelor is a really, really good one. I also talked about the Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer on Taoism. There's a book that I've heard is really good that's on my wish list to read, and that is The Heart of the Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. And a really good philosophy book on, you wouldn't really think it's about world religions per se, and it really isn't, but it would be The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. That is a fantastic read. And even though it doesn't deal directly with different religions, it does deal with different ways that the hero's journey has been expressed through different religions at different times in the world's history. So I read that book when I was kind of new into my writing journey, because it's really helpful for writing and kind of codifying things, because the hero's journey is very integral to a lot of fantasy literature. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question, Fina. Okay, thanks, Kay. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Well said. Thanks. Thich Nhat Hanh is a good author to check out for Buddhism. Yes, he is. He unfortunately left this earth a few months ago. Just an amazing human being. Anonymous said earlier, congrats on 500 subs. Thank you so much. He's a new author, by the way. Make sure to check out his book, Gurzel. It's I quite enjoyed reading it. You're welcome, Fina. Thank you. All right. I'm going to drink some more soup here real quick. All right. So that is done. All right. Audiobook is better. Oh, for your book? Okay. I might have to check that out. All right. Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So let's move on to the next question there. What series would you never have read were it not for Booktube? Oh boy, there's a lot of them actually. I would say probably the Winter Night trilogy by Catherine Arden. Before I started Booktube, I did have The Bear and the Nightingale on my Kindle, in my Kindle library, but I had no plans to read it anytime soon. But I saw so many good things about the Winter Night trilogy on Booktube that I decided I'm going to bump it up and read it. And I'm really glad I did. It's actually one of my favorite series of all time. I can see myself rereading that again several times before I shuffle off this mortal coil. So I really enjoyed that series. Let's see, what other series might I not have read? I don't know. I'm pretty well versed in a lot of the popular series out there, but I'm sure there are some others that I wouldn't have read. In fact, next month I am planning to pick up the Farseer trilogy for the first time. And to be honest with you, I have to say I probably would not have read that had it not been for hearing so many good things on Booktube. So I am planning to get into that and see what it's all about. The Witcher books is probably another one. I don't know if I would have gotten into the Witcher books if I hadn't found Booktube, because I honestly, I'd heard of the video game, but until I got on Booktube, I didn't know it was a book series. So yeah, quite a few of them there. And that question was from, let's see. That was from Colin Kunzelman. So yeah, Robin Hobb is easily favorite author on earth, and this pleases me to hear. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Worlds Enough in Time by Dan Simmons has a short. Yes, that's right. I am actually, and Hyperion's probably another one. And now it's become my second favorite sci-fi series of all time. That's another one that I found on Booktube, and I've heard about the short story. So I'm going to read Endymion first, and then I'll probably get to the short story. So yeah, pretty excited about that. In fact, I want to read more of Dan Simmons, not just his Hyperion. I've heard he's quite an excellent horror author as well, or a suspense thriller guy. So yeah, I plan to do that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what else we've got here. What author, living or dead, would you want to spend a day with? And what are the top 3 questions you would ask them? Well, so this will come as no surprise to any of you. The author that is living that I would want to spend the day with is Neil Gaiman. Hands down. In fact, one of these days, it is my dream to get Neil Gaiman on my channel for an interview. Who knows if it'll happen? I'm just putting it out there. But if I could have Neil Gaiman on my channel for an interview, I would die happy. So, yeah. But if I could spend the day with Neil Gaiman, that would actually be really cool. His wife, Amanda, seems really cool as well. So I'd be cool with hanging out with both of them. And his son Ash seems really cool as well. So I'm very excited to, not that would ever happen, but you never know, maybe one day. And what are the top 3 questions you would ask them? Oh, what would I ask? Mona Lisa asked me this question, by the way. I would ask, can you adopt me? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that creepy. Sorry, guys. I just couldn't resist. I think one thing that I would ask him is, what was the most influential? I think I have an idea what the answer would be, but what was the most what was the most influential piece of ancient literature that has changed his writing career? So I would like to know that. I would also just like to find out what his favorite food is. I think that would be really cool to find out what Neil Gaiman's favorite food is. And maybe he's said in different interviews, but I would like to hear it from him, just to hear that magnificent voice say what his favorite food is. And I think I would ask him the question, what is his favorite bedtime story to read to his kids? Because he has older kids as well as a younger son now as well. So I'd just be curious to hear that question from him. And I don't know if that would be the top 3 questions I would ask him, but those are some of the ones I'm curious about. I know it's probably cheesy, but anyway. Congratulations. Thank you, Epic. You're the man. Congrats on 500. Thanks, JR. New booktuber there, by the way. JR needs to get some more followers. You guys want to check him out. Epic Tales as well. Make sure to check out his channel. You deserve it, man. I knew your answer was going to be Neil Gaiman. Yep. That's probably, I don't think anybody was surprised by that. Having Neil Gaiman here would be awesome. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Fun times. All righty. So let's move on to another question here. What's a favorite book from your childhood? Chris from Chris Reviews asked me this. Gosh, a favorite book from my childhood. That's a tough one because I don't remember a lot of the books that I read as a child. I remember some from junior high, but not a lot from my actual childhood. No, actually there is one. The Giving Tree by Charles Silverstein. Well, one of my favorite childhood books of all time. I still love that book. It's just such a neat book. So yeah, I'll say The Giving Tree. And if you haven't read it, I don't know why you wouldn't have by this point, but if you haven't, check it out. It's cool. Let's see. The Kurds series by Dan Simmons is great. It's a mystery series starring the Holds by. Okay, yeah. I think somebody mentioned that to me the other day. I think maybe it was you actually, but yeah, I've heard that's good. Maybe one of your grandma's Agatha Christie's. Yes, actually, I did read a lot of Agatha Christie from my grandma's library growing up, and I'm starting to reread Agatha Christie now. I'm doing a lot of Agatha Christie lately, and with Mona Lisa, I recently did a buddy read with her for Death on the Nile, and I don't remember. There's so much I don't remember about the books from my years growing up that. But I'm sure they were favorites at the time. Absolutely. Tommy and Tuppence, the Partners in Crime series, I do remember them always being instant favorites of mine. So yeah, that's a great answer. Thanks, Mona Lisa. Outside of The Hobbit, mine would be The Phantom Tool Booth. Yeah, absolutely. So interesting about The Hobbit. I kind of came late to the game. I did not read Lord of the Rings until I was in my late 20s, actually, or maybe was it late 20s? Maybe it was early 30s. I think it was late 20s. That was the first time I'd ever read The Lord of the Rings. And I had already seen the first movie by that time, but I loved the movie so much. I'm like, oh, I got to go read the books. And it all went uphill from there. So I did not read The Hobbit for the first time until after I had read Lord of the Rings. So I know a lot of people usually read those as that book as a kid, but I did not, unfortunately. So, and also, unfortunately, we were not required to read a lot of books in high school. I did go to the bookmobile a lot and borrow books, and I read them, but it wasn't required. So I don't remember a lot of what I read from the bookmobile. So The Giver by Lois Lowry is my favorite from when I was young. Yeah, that's cool, Kay. I read The Giver a few years back. I did not care for The Giver, actually, but I enjoyed the movie. My kids and I watched the movie a few months back, and I actually did really enjoy the movie. And maybe going back and rereading the book, I'd enjoy it more, but I did not. I didn't like the ending of the book, and I did not continue with the series of books either. So. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is a favorite with a lot of people. So, yeah. Okay, let's get another question here. We just got a few more, so thanks for your patience, guys. Glad you're hanging out with me. Let's see. How would you describe your reading taste within the fantasy genre? And this is from Joanna, and she clarified to ask regarding hard magic versus soft magic. Settings, action-packed or character-driven. So yeah, great question. I am a very character-driven reader. I do like good plots and themes and things like that, but characters are where it's at for me. I think that's one of the reasons I liked Game of Thrones, the A Song of Ice and Fire books so much, is because of the character work. It was just outstanding for me. I just felt totally immersed in those characters' lives. So for me, characters are definitely where it's at. I enjoy lots of different settings. Most of my fantasy experience was in a more classic medieval setting or Victorian setting. But I enjoy a whole lot of different settings. I do enjoy some urban fantasy like Dresden Files. There's a book called The Dark Thorn by Sean Speakman. You may have heard of him. He's the webmaster for Terry Brooks's website. And he wrote a book called The Dark Thorn, which is absolutely excellent. It's an urban fantasy. And he's writing a sequel to it as we speak, I believe. So just he's a great author. He recently released another book as well. So just really great guy. So I do enjoy some urban fantasy, but I'm picky with urban fantasy. I like some steampunk settings, although I know that's not technically fantasy, it's sci-fi, but yeah. So I like all different types of settings. I do prefer soft magic over hard magic. I do love Brandon Sanderson's books. I think he does a really cool and unique magic system for each of his books. But I do love a good display of magic that's just completely awe-inspiring and breaks all the rules of reality and just leaves you with your jaw on the floor. So, stuff like Gandalf did in The Lord of the Rings and different things like that, where there's really no rules. All you have to do is be a wizard and you can do all these magnificent feats. So soft magic is definitely my cup of tea. But yeah, thanks for that, Joanna. And on that same question, as far as reading taste, I also prefer fantasy books that have magic in them. No, I know it's been popular in recent years to have fantasy books that have a very low magic system or non-existent. And Song of Ice and Fire is one of those, but I still enjoy A Song of Ice and Fire anyway, despite the fact that it has very little magic in it. It's still one of my favorite series of all time. So yeah, it's, but typically I like a lot of magic in my fantasy. And there you go. Let's get some more here. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Okay. Are you having any channel buddy reads? I've thought about it. I have thought about it. I'm probably going to put together one channel buddy read here in the near future. I need to get better about my Discord. I really do. I've started interacting more there lately, but I'm kind of social media averse, if you couldn't tell. So I want to interact with people on Discord, and that's the best place to do a buddy read. But yeah, I need to get better about it. I've had a few people tell me that. Some close friends have told me, why don't you do more on Discord? I need to. So that, yeah. So yeah, more to come on that, Sean. Thanks for the question. Didn't read a lot of fiction as a kid, but Eaters of the Dead was my favorite. I've been hearing that pop up a lot. Michael Crichton, right? The only Michael Crichton book I've ever read was Rising Sun, and I liked it. I just never read any of his other stuff. I haven't even read Jurassic Park. I know. I've been wanting to read those as well. But yeah, I've heard Eaters of the Dead is good. I've never seen the movie The 13th Warrior. I've heard that's good as well. But I am probably going to pick that up at some point. So Mona Lisa says, I've never read The Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings series. Okay, well, I came to it so late to the game that I can't fault you, but I highly recommend them. I think you would really like The Hobbit, Mona Lisa. You like Lord of the Rings too, but the Lord of the Rings is a bit more of a massive undertaking than The Hobbit is. The Hobbit's a really easy read, so start with that one. It's actually the prequel anyway, so might as well. Little Women was one of my favorites as a child. Cool, that's awesome. Never read it, don't intend to, but hey, awesome. Would you love to overlap on some reads? Yeah. If by overlapping you mean reading multiple books at a time, I'm not sure. If that's what you're meaning, I actually do read multiple books at a time. 2 to 3 usually. I have been known to have 4 going at once, but I do quite a bit of overlap. But maybe I'm not understanding your question either, so let me know if I got it right. Would make for a great discussion. Cool. Yeah, I can see why it would. Hey, Kayla, welcome. Thanks for joining. Kayla is another awesome booktuber. You guys should check her out. She does a lot of Stephen King, which is good. A lot of great reviews for Stephen King, and she reviews other horror and stuff too. So yeah, definitely check her out. So yeah. All right. I meant to overlap a bit with, okay. Got it. Overlap a bit with your schedule. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I would, I think I would overlap, on occasion. Would love to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah. I'll get with you on that. That would be kind of fun to do. All right. And Kayla, checking out your channel now. Awesome. Yeah, I think you'll really like her. Okay, let's get to another question here. Let's see. Will you ever read or review Glenn Cook's Garrett P.I. novels, skipping the first? And this is a question by Tasla1. No, I have never read any Glenn Cook, and I really don't plan to. I'm not really interested in the Black Company. I haven't heard of the PI novels. Let's see, it was Garrett PI. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I'll look into it, but I've never. There's so many books to read. I don't know if I'll ever get to Glenn Cook. I definitely don't plan to do the Black Company. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's see here. Let's do a couple more assumptions. You have siblings, and the youngest of those siblings is, or I'm sorry. You have siblings and are the youngest of those siblings. Okay. So I am the youngest in my family, and I'm also the oldest. I have no siblings. I am an only child. Although, I had many imaginary friends growing up that kept me occupied. But yeah, I'm an only child. So that was from Curly Top Reads, from Mel. Thank you. She also says that I like pineapple on my pizza. And yes, you are absolutely correct. I do. I love pineapple on pizza. No matter what other topping it has on it, I would eat straight pineapple. I would eat pepperoni with pineapple, bacon with pineapple, anything with pineapple. You give me pineapple, I'll eat it on pizza. But I love pineapple in general. I can't eat a whole lot of it because I don't know what it is, but it also it always irritates my mouth for some reason if I have a whole lot of pineapple, but I love it. So yes, that is true. And I'll save the last assumption for the end here. No. Yeah, I know that grosses out a lot of people. They don't like pineapple on pizza. Well, Kayla, if we ever have pizza together, you can give me yours. Okay. I'll take your pineapple. All righty. Let's do one more question. Do you eat while you read? Cookies, chips, etc.? I do on occasion. Yeah. I'm often found eating my lunch while reading, or rather reading while I'm eating my lunch. So on my on my break from work, when I'm eating my lunch, I'm often reading. So yeah, I do invariably eat while I read. And that was from Tassler one as well. And also, do you have reading rituals? Favorite chair, drinking tea, etc. I don't really have reading rituals per se. Every now and again, I might pour a glass of wine or crack open a beer while I read. I might have a glass of tea while I read. Every once in a while, I'll put the imitation fireplace on YouTube on the TV while I read, just for a little background noise. But it's hit or miss. I don't always do it. So, fruit pizza. Yeah, I could see maybe having fruit on pizza. I don't know. It would depend on the fruit. Let's see. And a related question to that previous one, Tesla says, do you make time for reading, or are you an opportunity reader? Bus or train ride, commercial break, wife walks the dog, etc. I read at every opportunity I get. So if I have a lull between work, and I do chat support right now. So if I don't have any chats, I work at home, so you can find me reading. I read during lunch. I read late at night. I might read before bed on occasion. I take every opportunity I can to read, any opportunity. So yes, bus, train ride. Yeah, absolutely. So anything like that. All right. How we doing, guys? We're getting close here. We're getting close to the end. Let's do another assumption. You were a party guy when you were younger. This again is from Curly Top, from Mel. I was not, actually. I grew up in a very strict religious household. Didn't really go to parties. Clubbing was not a thing, anything like that. I was always pretty straight-laced. It's only been within the last 20 years or so that I kind of broke out of my mold and, started being myself and doing things I want to do. So I never had my first alcoholic beverage until I was, 26, I believe it was. So, never was much of a party guy. I'm an introvert too, so which some of you may be surprised at, but I am an introvert. So big crowds, big parties. Once I come home from something like that, I usually completely crash. So, I either have to have a nap or just go straight to bed or something like that. I'm not, or at least have complete silence. I'm not big on large gatherings and large parties, but I have done it and I will do it. It just takes a lot for me to recharge. So yeah, I'm introverted in that way, but I can be extroverted. So I guess that makes me an ambivert, right? Yeah. So let's see. Who is the best fantasy character and why is it Harry Dresden? JR, I like the way you think, my friend. I would not say Harry is the best fantasy character, although he is one of my favorites. I'm not far enough into the Dresden Files to know him well enough, but I do like Harry a lot. That's a large question right there. That the best fantasy character. Oh boy, there's so many that I absolutely love. I was hoping to do a video on some of my favorite fantasy characters here in the near future, but yeah, that's hard for me to say right now. Some of my favorites are Sandan Glokta from the Blade itself. Well, from the First Law trilogy as a whole. Just absolutely love his character. I do love Harry Dresden. Bilbo Baggins. It's hard to say. I think Gandalf is one of my top favorites. He'll always be an absolute favorite of mine. But yeah, it's hard to say who the best fantasy character is, and it is subjective, right? So if it's Harry Dresden for you, JR, more power to you, and I couldn't agree more. He's awesome. So great question. All right, we'll do one more assumption, and then we'll finish off the questions. Never mind. That was the last assumption. So scratch that. We're finishing questions. Let's see. Do you get rid of books you did not care for? For example, I donate books to prisons, hospitals, and rehab centers. Or are you a collect-all person? I do get rid of books that I don't care for, yes. Although I usually save them up for a while on a list, and then next time I go to my local used bookstore or someplace else that I'm donating to, I'll take them at that time and collect them in a box. But yeah, I do get rid of books that I don't care for, except for ebooks. I can't really do that. So if I made a bad purchase on Kindle, I just, I'm kind of stuck with it. So yeah. And that's okay. That's okay too. It takes up very little space on the Kindle. So, and I can always offload it off the Kindle too. So I do that. Hey, Chaz, how's it going? Thanks. I'm doing great. Jake, how are you? Jake, the Bookish Drummer. Definitely need to check out his channel. He's been doing some cool contests on his Discord, by the way, for drum beats. Like whoever can guess the drum beat wins a prize or whatever. I am not good enough with drum beats to even participate, but I think it's cool that he's doing that. So go check him out. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks. All righty. Let's see. I think we got one more question, a couple more questions here. Bookmark or page folder? And this is from Tasla1 as well. I am a bookmarker. I do not fold pages. Dog earring is one of my pet peeves for books. I do not do it. I don't fold pages. I do my very best to keep my physical books in as good a condition as possible. I'm not obsessive about it because you can't completely protect a book from damages and stuff, but I try to keep it in as good a condition as possible. So nope, I don't fold those pages. Sometimes I'll put like a little, those little sticky note tabs. I'll put those on my book on occasion if there's something I want to remember. But that's another reason I like Kindle books is I can bookmark it, or I can take a note on a section that I want to remember and go back to it. So that's been very helpful for me. Yeah. Do I have a Dnf policy? Oh, that's a good one. I do Dnf books. It is rare. If a book is just so boring or just something that I cannot manage to get through at all, or just not totally my cup of tea, I will DNF it. And I've gotten better about that in recent years. That used to be, I was like, I bought the book. I hate to not finish it. So I would just trudge through it and eventually finish it, whether it was 5 or 6 months later. But I've gotten better about it recently. If I'm just not feeling something, I'll DNF it, even if it's only a temporary DNF. I have done that with some books as well. There's some books I've said, yeah, I'm going to DNF it now. I might come back to it later. So that is that's my DNF policy. But I've gotten better about it. So what's your DNF policy, Sean? I need to head out, but congrats. Thank you, Kay. Nice having you. Appreciate you. Dog earrings should be banned. Yes, I agree. But to each their own, right? Kind of like what I talked about before. Everybody's different, and I don't judge anyone. What they do with their books is their business. So, but yeah, it is a pet peeve of mine. Congrats, by the way, 500 subs. Thank you. Woo! Yes, I'm excited. Excuse me here. All right. So we got one more question. How do you treat your books? My best friend will never leave a mark on a book. Mine all look very used, often with notes, highlights, even food stains, travel marks, etc. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is kind of along the lines of that last question about dog-earing books or page folding. Yeah, I don't do any of that. I try my best to keep my books in pristine condition as possible. I don't make notes in my books. I know a lot of people annotate their books, like actually write in the book. I couldn't do that. Sorry, not my style. Highlights. I used to highlight books for college, textbooks and stuff like that. But that's kind of that. I see that as being different. Let's see. Some of mine look used too, and some of mine don't, but I try not to leave travel marks or anything like that on it. So, all right. So that is the end of the questions that I was sent. And if any of you have other questions you want to ask me, feel free. I'm totally game with answering more questions. I've got a little bit of time yet. I'm working on it. On the Dnf policy, hence why I'm still stuck in Malazan. Malazan is a tough series. It really is. I really liked Gardens of the Moon. I read it for the second time in January. Deadhouse Gates was tough for me. I trudged through most of the book until the last third or quarter of the book. The payoff was huge. So, but I totally get it, Sean. Malazan's a tough series. Yep, absolutely. So, did anybody have any other questions for me today? And if not, it's totally cool. I can end the stream anytime, but I wanted to give enough time for people. If you have questions on the future of the channel or things that you would like to see me do on the channel, feel free to ask. I would love to answer those questions if I can. I will say I'm working on a couple of different projects here in the near future. I have a Why You Should Read video for the Dark Tower that I recently filmed. I do need to go through and edit it, but that will probably be coming up next week or the week after. I'm planning on doing some character deep dives. I had a request way back in the day to do a deep dive for Lisbeth Salander from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and the other books in that series, the Millennium Trilogy. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive on her character as well. So if you'd like to see more character deep dives, let me know that too. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I will plan on doing more of those. But I am going to at least do that one to try it out and see what the response is. She's not a well-known character, especially in the fantasy community, because it's a thriller. So it's a thriller mystery. So she's not well known, but for those who love. Who have seen the movies and have read the books. She's a fantastic character. So, yeah. So I'm looking for that. Okay, cool. Kayla says deep dives sound interesting. All right. Well, I've got one taker. Anyone else? Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I will be continuing to do Chaz and Friends. I've got a lot of people on the docket for the months to come. To this month, we're doing Nikki from the Obsessive Bookseller, and Ben from Literature and Lo-Fi is going to be joining us too. So that's going to be awesome this month. Cool. Another taker for character deep dives. So that's awesome. Very cool. Well, this has been fun. If you guys don't have any other questions, I know we've been going for almost an hour and a half. I'll go ahead and let you go. But I want to say again, congrats to Drew from Drew's Book Reviews. He was the winner of the book giveaway. So I will be reaching out to him, and I will be doing other giveaways in the future. So let's see. Okay. Book discussions. I would love to chat all things ocean with you. Ooh, yeah, we should do that. And I'm going to do a reread of Ocean again this year. I plan to make that a yearly reread. So yes, Fina, I will let you know, and we should have a discussion on that. Very cool. And yes, for deep dives. Cool. Cheers. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that's awesome to have everybody here. So yeah, I guess that will be it. Thank you so much to everybody for helping me celebrate 500 subscribers. And I will do another live stream once I hit 1,000, if and when that happens. So thank you all for joining me and for all of your support. I really appreciate it. And tune in for more content every Tuesday and Friday. That's when I post new videos. So Chaz and Friends usually happens on the weekend, either Saturdays or Sundays. You'll see announcements coming out for that. And yes, on deep dives. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Mona Lisa wants to read Ocean with us too. So awesome. And maybe, who knows? Somebody asked earlier, I think it was Sean Cole, asked if I'm planning on doing any. Oh no, I don't think it was him. It was somebody else, I think. But let's see. Oh yeah, it was Sean. Yeah, if I'm doing any channel buddy reads. So maybe through Discord, maybe we can do the Ocean at the End of the Lane buddy read. That would be kind of cool. So more to come on that. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it was you, Sean. Yep. Ocean can be your channel buddy read. Absolutely. Okay. And thank you. Thank you so much. You take care too. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for the wishes for 1,000 subs. I'm looking forward to whenever that happens. I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Cole. Talk to you guys later. And thanks so much for joining again. Make sure you all read more books. We'll talk soon. Bye.